And so back to the time frames. Right now we're going to bounce. So don't worry, we're bouncing here. You can see the hourly Stoch. We're definitely bouncing. The last couple times, see how the Stoch cycle is nice, clean, repetitive cycle right now? Perfect Stoch waves. Up, down, and look at the price. Up, down. Now the key is when you have bigger up swings than down swings, you get an uptrend. When you have bigger dumps back down than the moves up, you get a downtrend, right? So right now we have each of my dynamics right here. The 55 EMA is a killer resistance. So we have each of my dynamic resistance at the 55 EMA right here that we can't push up above. But we have a perfectly clean, repetitive Stoch cycle that's excellent for predicting what's going to happen. So I can tell you without a doubt right now we're definitely going to bounce. And sure enough, we are exactly on schedule. The question is whether or not we get more on the upswing than on the downswing. And there are a couple things to look at, and it includes back to what we talked about in our Flux University educational stream the other night about different time frames. So we have this Stoch cycle reversing, and we have the Ichima dynamic resistance, the bottom of the cloud, and the 55 EMA. So that's strong confluence. That's Ichima dynamic resistance confluence. We have two of those dynamics that are preventing us from breaking up, but we have an uptrend starting based on the Stoch model. So they're conflicting. They're gonna meet up and hit just above 47K right here. Then we're going to see what's what. That's going to be the moment of truth. If we break through, we're on a bull run. I said the other night, once we break through resistance and we get the reversal on the daily, we're pushing up big time. That's going to take us right back to 60, potentially all the way to our 75K target. So whether or not we break into the cloud is going to be key. I don't know if it's going to happen on this upswing, but that's what we're going to watch for. If it does, we're going to run up, and if it doesn't, we're going to keep going down on the same sideways consolidation range. You can see, looking at the 4-hour, the Stoch cycle is not as repetitive and clean, but we have Ichima dynamic support at the bottom of the cloud. Now, I explained because of how erratic the market is right now, and we are consolidating in that horizontal correction, that it doesn't necessarily have to stay exactly above the cloud. Just the bottom of the cloud is creating a rough trend line. You could do a linear fit model right here and say, all right, well, this is an approximate trend line support. So you'll get a couple wicks down below it, but overall, most of that trading is going to happen along that trend line, and it's going to hold, and I'm not going to consider it a failure until it really fails for multiple candles in a row. So right now, we're still holding at the support. The Stoch, since the hourly is turning up, very well may reverse here. That's why I said the Stoch model on the 4-hour is not as perfect with a perfect repetitive wave cycle as it is on the hourly. So here we might get a bullish reversal here, break into the cloud on the hourly, and what that would essentially mean is we run back to the top of the cloud on the 4-hour, which would be 51.7K. So that would be our first target. If we break 51.7K, then we're going to get a bullish reversal on the daily model. If we get the bullish reversal confirmed on the daily model, which it's very close, it hasn't been confirmed yet, there's still, this new hourly candle just started. So this new hourly candle has to close in 24 hours. If this candle closes green in 24 hours, we're most likely charted on a path to 75K. So the first stop is going to be the top of the Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour, 51.7K. The next stop is going to be resistance up at 58, so the prior high. And if we can get above the prior high, then the next stop is 75K, which is the ultimate target, which is at the 3618 Fibonacci extension. But everything that's going to happen moving forward is based upon what's occurring now on the hourly, the 4-hour, and the daily models. And that's how they're all working together. It's very important to understand each of them and how they interact and affect each other, because the lower time frames and their movement will affect how the higher time frames work, right? But it's looking really good right now. I've been really bullish for a couple days, and the alts have been doing really well. All the long-term holds I've been getting into on the altcoins have been absolutely crushing it. My BTC trade, I got in at the exact bottom. I said we're going to hold at the bottom of the cloud with a wick to the 222 EMA. That's exactly what happened on the 4-hour model. So everything about my models is essentially flawless. The only trades I lost on are when I got into altcoins with a tight stop loss, but then it dipped down before it broke up. So my analysis was right. We got the breakout, but my entry was such that I got in right before like a quick little wick down, which hit my stop loss. So my longer term trades where I didn't set a tight stop loss, those I'm all either even or I'm up a little bit. Those are all looking really good. So I'm really confident in my model right now. It's been incredibly precise. I've only taken a few losses, and again, it's been on trades where I had a tight stop loss. And everything about this looks like the hourly is, at the very least, the hourly is going to test the resistance zone at the bottom of the cloud within the 55 EMA. That's definitely going to happen in the next one or two candles. And then we're really going to see what's what. If we break through, it's going to be a really good night overnight. And if we don't break through, then we're going to continue bearish for another cycle, and that's probably going to take anywhere from 8 to 14 hours. Actually, no, probably not that long, probably less than that. Since the 4-hour model Stoke isn't as clear, it's harder to say, but I wouldn't want to come up with a time estimate on that. But we are definitely going to come back down and continue along this path. On the bright side, each of these downward moves hasn't really been that massive. So it's not like we're going up and then a huge dump down, up and a huge dump down. We're going up and then a bigger dump down, up and a bigger dump down, but it's not, we're not seeing massive dumps right now. So the market's not in the throes of a correction. It's sort of trying to finish its reversal out of the correction. It's just not 100% there. We don't have that confirmation. But as soon as we get that confirmed daily reversal, and we are really close to it, that daily reversal means we are going to see 7 to 12 days of insane bullish activity like we saw 4 or 5 weeks ago. All right, I'll give you guys an update later. I'll just make this one public. It was going to be an update just for the private group, but I feel like the general public would benefit from hearing my analysis this time. And sometimes I like to share free content with them. If you guys are not in Flux Trading Group, I teach members how to do this stuff in the premium group. I'm available by phone, and we could jump on a voice call if premium members need me, so I can mentor them and teach them how to do all this stuff. And I teach them my different strategies and techniques for trading, as well as how to do technical analysis and all the different models I use for doing these charts. It's really interesting stuff. So if you are relatively new to trading, or if you're a good trader but you want to up your game, I'd really appreciate the support if you wanted to join the group. I'd love the opportunity to teach you and help you learn this stuff, because I really like sharing my knowledge, because when I was in your shoes and I got wrecked at the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018, and I lost all my money, I had to learn how to trade then, because I was just a holder before then. And I didn't have somebody who went through that to teach me. I went through it. I've gotten wrecked, so you don't have to. I could tell you what mistakes I made so you can avoid them, and I can teach you how I became a really good trader over the following few years without you having to go through all the turmoil I had to go through to get there. So if you want to join the group, there's a link in the description of this video to the Discord group. Just go to the Discord and all the information's in there. All right, guys, I'll share another update later. I'm sure you heard the kids running around. I got to go get them in the bathtub, and I'll be available if you need me in Telegram or Discord.